think I've ever played my guitar on this channel. It's because I'm actually not that good. I was talking to this guy that I met off of the Hinge app, and he was telling me about the movie Before Sunset. In the movie, the girl plays this song on her guitar, and it was so pretty that I really wanted to learn it, and luckily it was easy enough for me to get most of it down. I haven't fully learned it yet, but baby steps. Also, I'm no longer talking to that guy. I'll save that story for another time. So I decided last minute to get a fake Christmas tree. This is actually my first Christmas tree in my own apartment. I'm not going back to see my family this year, so I thought it would be nice to get a tree because I'm gonna be here to enjoy it more, and it would make things a lot more festive. I was able to get some Christmas lights, a little garland, and some really cute ornaments. I went with a rose gold / silver metallic theme, so I'm really excited to see how that looks all put together. I've never... Hi! Hi, cutie! I've never gotten a fake Christmas tree before. I've always gotten real ones with my family, and I prefer them because I love that fresh Christmas tree smell and making the whole house smell like Christmas. I just had to buy a bunch of candles to replicate that. I don't even know how to build it. I really want to put it in this corner, like right by the TV, so anytime I'm watching TV, I can also just see the Christmas tree on the side. So we have the tree bottom. Oh, that seems pretty easy. So you just do a 90-degree angle. Damn it, this is the bottom. That makes a lot more sense because this is way more sturdy now. This took way longer than I was expecting it to, but I think I figured out the trick on how you're supposed to make it look more full. Like, just have each strand or branch slanted, or not slanted, but like one side goes up, the other goes down, and just crisscross them in a way. And that's how you get it to look more full and less empty. It looks pretty good. Now we can start putting the lights on and the ornaments. And I love how it turned out. I'm gonna put Cody in his little Christmas sweater. I got this a while ago, and I don't think he doesn't hate it. He tolerates it. I want to say he likes it. I already got a blister from playing the guitar earlier. I didn't even play for that long, but there was already like a callus that was healing, and I got a blister over that one, so it was really gross, and this one actually really hurts. I probably popped it way too early when I shouldn't have, but I know, TMI, right? It's pretty gross. It was pretty gross. The other day, I was really craving one of those Christmassy kind of cocktails. So I found 2 recipes online and I got all the materials and ingredients or whatever to make them. So the first one that I think I'm gonna make today is this hot cinnamon apple brandy cider. So we pretty much combine all of the ingredients and then let it simmer for about 10 minutes. It seems pretty easy. So I have my pot here. I'm just gonna mix all of the ingredients in here first. The recipe said half a gallon of fresh apple cider, which is just about this much. I think it's a little bit more than this, but we're just gonna go with this. Okay, that pretty much filled up my entire pot. I am somewhat having regrets because this is a lot of apple cider and there's no way I'm gonna drink all of this in one night. I'm just gonna scoop it into this container and save this juice for some other time, I guess. Okay, so I have about half of the apple cider in here. I'm just gonna do half of the proportions. I had to get special apple brandy because that's what the recipe called for. You can try with regular brandy. I've never had this before. I've never had brandy, so I don't know the difference. God, that's strong. It's not bad, but sipping it like this. 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So specific in its measurements, which makes me feel like I should follow it to the T, because it also said to do half a tablespoon. Then we have to add some honey. A lot of honey. Wow, this is probably gonna be a really sweet drink. Now we're gonna add some cinnamon. I love the smell of cinnamon, it just smells so good. I even bought ground ginger for this. That's how committed I am. What is half of 3/4? I don't think I need a lot of ground ginger, so I'm just going to do the tiniest bit. Then we have nutmeg, also the tiniest bit of this. So I got whole cloves. I'm gonna just put a little bit in my mortar and pestle and grind it. I feel like that should be the same thing, right? Just toss that in there. So to add a little bit of pepper, smallest amount, and then a pinch of salt. Okay, now we just turn on medium-high heat. We'll set a timer for 10 minutes. It just needs to simmer. So while that's simmering, I'm just gonna prepare some strips of orange and lemon zest. We're getting really fancy today. I don't even like orange really as a fruit. They're just too citrusy for me. I have never done this before. Okay, this isn't bad. It's actually pretty cute. Wow, that was exactly 10 minutes. Then it said to twist lemon zest and the orange one. We're gonna add some cinnamon sticks. Okay, wow, this is too cute even for me. All right, let's try this. It's really hot still. Wow. That's really good. I'm shocked. I might put a little bit more brandy in here. I also wanted to answer some questions you submitted from my stories. So I think a week ago I asked if you had any topics or questions you wanted me to answer, and I got some really great questions, so I'll answer a few of them here, and then some other ones were like topics that I'll do longer videos on. So first question, how do you think your progress is going? I think you're doing great, by the way. I'm assuming you mean like YouTube progress. I feel like a lot of you probably followed when I quit my full-time job and started doing YouTube full-time, and this is like my 4th year. I'm on my 4th year of doing YouTube full-time, which is so wild to me. That time has really flown by so fast, but I also feel like I am kind of where I need to be. Like, in a way, I'm just like trusting the process. And of course, like, I have my good days and my bad days. Sometimes I feel really motivated, other times I don't feel as motivated, like super unmotivated actually. When I get a chance to just sit back and really soak it all in, I am really happy with where I am today, and just really grateful for it all. Like the fact that I have an apartment and a home to call my own is pretty amazing and just really cool, I guess. Like I'm really grateful for that. You know, there are times where I feel like I work really hard and I don't always see a return on it, but I try not to focus on that as long as I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I know that any success will come in due time in whatever way or form that it looks like. I think one of my goals for the longest time was to have my own apartment, so the fact that I've even gotten this far is amazing, and now like I don't know what else to strive for next. I think 2020 has put a lot of things into perspective. Like I'm just really grateful for my health especially, and that I can still afford like a living and a life. There were like 2 or 3 months over the summer where I was really worried about not finding work. So now that it's been a bit more steady recently, I'm super grateful. I feel really lucky to have worked with some really cool brands, and for the most part stay true to who I am, I think. So yeah, I'm happy with my progress. Then I got a couple questions about some family related stuff. Family/society pressure of being single in your mid-20s, stress with family around the holidays, adult traditions around holidays. I don't really know about stress with adult traditions around holidays, but I have been dealing with some family stuff myself, so these 2 questions really caught my eye, and I don't even know like where to start. I guess I'll give you some like context so my advice can make a little bit more sense. It kind of all started when I went to see my family a few months ago back in the Bay, and I got into like a couple weird disagreements with my parents, and prior to this year I felt like I had a really good relationship with them. Like I had worked on myself, I worked on my past with them. We just had like these huge fights and these huge misunderstandings and disagreements. I love my parents so much. I never want to put them on blast because it's such a one-sided story, and I try really hard to understand their perspective, but sometimes I can't, or I'm not able to yet, because I don't know what that experience is like. I don't know what being a mom, I don't know what being a parent is like. I don't know what it's like to have a child that is uncontrollable. My mom and I got into this huge fight, and we just like blew up on each other. And fast forward a month after that, I called her to apologize and talk to her and see if we could get to the same understanding, or that I could maybe get an acknowledgement or you know, an apology back from her, but it didn't happen. In fact, it kind of made things worse for me. And then as a result, I also ended up having some disagreements with my dad. That's kind of the reason why I didn't go back home for Thanksgiving, and I don't plan on going back home for Christmas, because I do need my space right now, and I realize I am a person who needs a lot of space. Just a place without the pressure of other people. I feel like, especially around my parents, when I'm around them, I feel like I have a responsibility to meet their expectation all the time, and so when I don't get space away from them, it really like bogs me down, that pressure. But it was really difficult kind of setting my boundaries and letting them know that I do need my space and time away from them. And obviously as a parent that must be really difficult and really hard, but at the end of the day, my kind of advice in answering these questions is that you have to do what you think is right for you and what you need in order to move forward. And you have to be strong in that. I think that's the hard part, is that we expect it to be easy to set boundaries. At least for me, I should say I expect it to be easy to get an apology. I expect it to be easy to get acknowledgement for what happened. I expect it to be easy to express how I feel and be understood. It's never that easy, and I think that's kind of what I'm coming to learn, is that you need to do what's best for you to move forward and accept that it might take time or it might not happen with your parents like the way that you would want it to. You have to be strong in who you are and yourself, because it's so much harder to stand up to family. You can't really cut them out of your life the way that you can with other people. Like, inescapable, really. When I told my dad that I needed some space, like, it was really hard because I felt really guilty afterwards. Like, I felt upset for being angry and making those boundaries. But it had to be done. The more space that I've been taking away from them, the more I can come to an understanding of their perspective and what they're trying to do as parents, and I can appreciate that more. But because I wasn't given that space, my anger just kept building and building and building. At the end of the day, like, even though they're your family, you have to do what's right for you, and it's not always going to be easy. You just kind of have to stand by it. The other day I was thinking about how the parent and child dynamic changes when the child no longer expects the parent to provide the basic necessities in terms of like clothing, food, shelter. And I've noticed that now that I can provide those things for myself, I seek more from my parents, or I just seek something different from my parents, and that is more of like a friendship or a support system. And if I go home and I'm not really getting that, then what is the point? I was telling my friend, like, when I was younger, you know, you'd get threatened with like, do you want to have dinner tonight? Do you want to eat? Like, do you want to live on the streets? You know, Asian parents, as they do, but they can't use that anymore. Sorry, mom and dad, you actually have to talk to me now. I guess that was my long, convoluted way of saying, stick to what you want and need and be strong in it. It is really hard, especially with your parents. Like, for me, it's really hard saying no to them, but sometimes you just have to. I really needed to, and I do feel like I'm slowly coming around to a chill, level-headed state. I am all about putting family first. Like, if they needed anything tomorrow, I would be there in a heartbeat. But sometimes you do just have to learn when you need to put yourself first, and that is a really fine, difficult balance to have. I hope that answered your question. If it didn't, at least you know you're not alone. Like, I'm having some family stuff too, and I wish I weren't. I really wish I wasn't. Like, I wish it was just easy, especially because of this year. Like, it's the last thing that I wanted, and it was really heartbreaking for me. Like, a lot of my friends know how hard I took it, just having conflict with my parents. But yeah, you're not alone. It happens, and you just have to keep learning and growing and pushing forward in whatever way that is. This is a spicy question. Opinions on friends with benefits. Girl. I would never tell someone not to do something, because I always think, like, you have to experience life if you want to experience it. I have never heard a friends with benefits story that didn't involve some kind of drama. So just be prepared for that. Be prepared for the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. Whichever way you think is the best or worst case, if you know what I mean. Either you'll end up in a relationship, or you're gonna lose a friend, or someone gets possessive, someone catches feelings. It's just very rare that I've heard a friends with benefits story just end and they're still friends. I'm sure it exists somewhere. I just haven't heard of one. Be honest with yourself and with your person about what you want from that friends with benefits situation. Would I ever do a friends with benefits situation again? No, personally I would not. Obviously, like, be safe, have fun before shit hits the fan. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you for watching and doing Christmas with me today. I had so much fun. LA is in lockdown again, and so yeah, I'm sorry the vlogs haven't been as frequent as they used to be. I literally just don't do very much, so it's hard to vlog. I just do makeup and sit on the couch. But I hope you're all staying safe and healthy. All of my best wishes to all of you watching, and I'm really grateful that you're still here after this tumultuous year, and I'm always so grateful for your support. I'm gonna do a 2020 favorites video for makeup and skincare and stuff, so I'll see you in that video. Bye!